Thank you.
Well, it's nice to have you back with us. You come rushing from the set from Superman.
Yes, I sometimes feel it's a cheat not to show up wearing the suit, but the problem about wearing the suit is that there's no exit. You know, once you've arrived, there's no way to get off.
That's right. There is no
It
phone
can't
booth.
actually fly out the door. Big disappointment.
We could have done with you flying in, certainly for a bit of effect, you know. But it's good to see you. You're working hard on the set?
Yeah, it's 6 days a week, and we have to try to get it done by next summer. So, in order to get it done by next summer, we have to really be going at it hard now.
I thought you said you were never going to do it again.
I know.
It was the money, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't the money. It was.
Come on.
Well, they say, you know, never say never again. You know, Sean Connery was the one who really was quoted on that. But they said, how much money would it take to get you to be Superman? I said, that's not it. It's I want to make a movie that I think would have the kind of action and the kind of integrity that Superman ought to have. And so they said, well, why don't you write it yourself? And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And on that basis, we tried it again.
So, I mean, you have control over it as far as that goes.
Well, not really control. I mean, the money guys have the control finally and stuff. But I make a lot of suggestions. You know, I'm sort of I make a lot of noise on the set, and they're being very, very accommodating in terms of what ought to work, because I've played the part nearly 10 years now, and I sort of feel that, I know what he ought to do, and there's things that I really care about in the part that we're sort of bringing to light.
Why do they make Superman in Britain?
Because it's the best place to make it. Absolutely. This is where you get the best technicians. This is where the dollar goes further over here. This is where you get the best kind of, well, you don't get the best weather, but you certainly get the best of the technical side of things. And you can make it more cheaply, and you can get the look that you need.
Yeah. So who are your co-stars this time?
Gene Hackman.
Again, he's Luther Blissett or something. No, Lex Luthor. Lex
right.
Luthor, yes.
And he's back in great form. He's terrific. Mariel Hemingway is in it. Margot Kidder is back as Lois Lane. Jackie Cooper is back. And the whole style of the picture is really going much more back to Superman 1 and back to the kind of the magic that we started, and maybe we sort of lost a little bit of that steam along the way.
The days of lost innocence.
Yeah. And it's interesting, particularly this program being for children in need, and I feel that I'm kind of in a unique position as an entertainer, because I sort of have a schizophrenic life. I'm Superman and Clark Kent. I'm American in English. I'm a comic book hero, and also do other things in acting. But I've noticed in my time of being Superman, the belief and the courage of children and how they identify with Superman, not in the action way so much, the kind of knocking heads together and the macho side of it, but in the gentler, more kind of the romantic or more, I don't know, the magic of Superman. He crosses all cultures. He's seen in every country of the world, and I've been able to relate to kids in a way I never thought possible through playing this part.
That's what children would like to do, isn't it?
They never cease to amaze me. Kids and the courage of children. It often happens that I'm written to by parents with children in a lot of very desperate circumstances, and I feel, oh, this is really too much for me. I can't handle that. It's going to break my heart. And I started responding to these invitations as much as I could, and time again, I'm just knocked out by the courage of children with all kinds of problems. It far exceeds those of most adults.
What about your own kids? Do your own kids identify with you as Superman?
Yes and no. I mean, they've seen enough Superman to sort of have gone off it a little bit. And in fact, my son Matthew is much more into the Mask toys and into GoBots and Decepticons and all that kind of stuff. And into things that transform. You can make it into a helicopter, whatever. When he comes to the set, in fact, last week I was having a fight with a bad guy on the moon. And
don't give away too much.
Came with me to the moon and had a great time.
Yeah. And now, this time, Superman is going to be played a little less tongue-in-cheek?
I would think there's actually more laughs in this film than the others. There's a lot of humor. But in fact, the whole impetus for the story comes from a child, and it comes from a letter written by a child about a very real problem that we all face. And I did a television show called A Message to Our Parents, which is a film made by 12-year-old kids in the States and shown on television in Boston about children's fear of growing up in a nuclear age. And the kind of very naive, but at the same time completely possible belief on the part of these children is, why don't we just get rid of all these weapons? And so I started the story with the premise of a child writing to Superman, saying, why don't you get rid of all these weapons that the adults are having so much problem dealing with,
Yeah.
and the world will be a better place. And the story sort of takes off from there.
Christopher, thank you very much.